Matty, some tough results this week. Midweek away, at home to the Sheffield Steel Dogs, lost in overtime. Last night, really close game in Milton Keynes, and obviously tonight against the Phantoms. Just give us your thoughts on what's been a tough week.
Yeah, it's tough time for the club at the minute. It's hard to put into words really. I think, look, no one's like disputing the fact that the lads are trying, and I think again we've come into this season as a new club and stuff like that, and it's hard to have expectations of this, that, and the other. But at the same time, look, we've got fans out there that expecting, and we need to win games and try and make the playoffs, and there's a whole bunch of things, but it's difficult, mate. Like, you're playing against some good teams. We had some a little bit too long of a break. We come back, and I don't think we was quite ready for sort of them games that we had against some really good teams, to be honest. And I think it knocked some of our boys' confidence. I think, especially the main lads, and then we've had a bit of whatever you want to call it, bad luck or whatever with Nathan, and it knocks the team. We had a good rhythm going before, and it's just sort of been rocked a little bit, and the boys are just struggling to try and find that momentum again. We've played some really good games, mate. Last night we played against a good team in Milton Keynes, which is notoriously a really difficult ring to play in, and we did a really good job, and I felt like we could have won that game. But I felt like we could have won a lot of games this season, and it's been one goal or just off a play here, a play there, but at the end of the day, it's the result that matters, and that's all that matters in sport. It doesn't matter how well you play. It's, at the end of the day, it is results, and it's tough. It is tough, mate. And I think Wednesday night was a real tough one, just because, look, again, say this again, but we should have won. It was the better team. I think everyone who was here knew that. We just couldn't score. We couldn't score for the chances we had. I was guilty, as much as anyone else, and I needed to score them chances I had to win. But it's a matter of like just timing and just where we are at the minute. It's just we had a good spell, and now we've hit a tough spell. That's sport, and we'll be fine. We'll come through it, but it's difficult.
Yeah. Just trying to keep that positivity going. Yeah. How does it feel to be back playing?
It's sort of, look, I think if it was, what did I say here? I think, look, if in another scenario, I would love it. I'd be back out there, and I'd love to play for another 10 years, and be out there, and of course I would. It's tough for me because of the nature of what I have. My knee problem is, it isn't going anywhere, and it's not going to get better. It's just one of them things that's just unfortunately where it is, and I'm not gonna. It's hard to play a game for me at the minute. I am struggling. I'm not, sort of playing how I would like to play. I don't feel like I'm sort of offering what I should offer as me as a player. It's hard, and I just, I'm in sort of two minds, where I want to help the lads, but I also know that I'm really not, playing as good as I should be playing for my position, what I should do. So it's a tough one for me, just to, as a coach as well, to not sort of, it's marrying the two. It's tough. It's really tough, mate. But I love it. Yeah, I love being out there, just wearing the shirt and just sort of being in sort of the environment that I've sort of set up really, and sort of seeing what everyone's helped create is just unreal, really. And I think it's such a like bit sweet moment at the minute for me. I think it's like we're getting somewhere with this, and like the off ice is coming, and the club's coming in terms of like where we are as a fan base, and sort of off ice is going really well, and we've got some great ideas coming forward, and hopefully that'll only help us grow. It's just this side needs to get there as well, but I'm quite, and there's a lot of people like Joe, the other owner's the same, and we want results, we want to win, you know, same as yourself. Everyone who works for the club is like that. We all want to be good, and we all want to be back to how Hull was, you know, a couple of years ago. But I also have to remember that it's not quite where that is. You know, we've just, you know, I think the overall thing is we are lacking that depth. You know, currently we're lacking that depth, and that's, I think, what's really letting us down. Also, the person drumming out there is letting us down, but he's all right. But yeah, so no, we're just lacking that depth. You know, we've got you know, some young lads that are really doing a brilliant job for the club, and honestly, they've been unreal. All of them. Young Bruton, he's 16 years old. I'm asking a lot of that kid. You know, and I need to remember how old he is at times. You know, and the other kids as well. They're all, you know, they're doing a great job for me. And it's not really their fault, the fact that I'm asking so much of them, you know, they're thrust in a position where they shouldn't be really. But just from where we are, you know, and what's happened with the club in terms of, like, you know, more bans, injuries, where we are, you know, people leaving the club for whatever reason, and it's just how it is, you know. It's a tough time, mate, but we'll get through it. We're battlers, and we'll keep going. We'll go again. You know, we've got a couple of, you know, home games coming up, and, you know, I'll get the lads ready to come out and fight, and you know, that's all we can do. So
yeah, which leads me nicely on to the last final point. Obviously, next weekend, just one game at home on the Sunday to the Basingstoke Bison, who I guess are a playoff sort of contender. So it's a must-win game, really.
Yeah. Again, it comes, you know, every weekend sort of that same way. Look, if you ask me honestly, this weekend was going to be a tough one. You know, they've got two really good teams, and with the players we've got out, it was always going to be tough. Wednesday was a real kick, because I felt like, you know, it was a game we should have won. This weekend we've played well. Tonight we just ran out of steam, we couldn't score, you know. But next weekend is a game where, like, look, there's no excuse. We have to win that game, and that's, you can say that, you know, so many times, but at the end of the day, that at some point we have to win. So we've got to win that game, and you know, we have Nathan back, which is massive, and we've really missed Nathan past, you know, 4 games. He was getting really into his rhythm, Nathan. I think it's a shame, but it happened, and he, you know, he learned from what he's done, and we'll move on. And with Nathan back in the lineup, I think we're a little bit of a different team, and hopefully we can have Finn again next week. Fingers crossed. And, you know, we'll keep tabs on Kel and how he's coming on as well. And so it's positive, mate. We've got lads to come back in, you know, and it's not doom and gloom. We have, you know, we've got some positive stuff coming. We just need to, you know, get some confidence from some of the lads and get, you know, back to that rhythm of playing how he was, you know, before Christmas.
Thanks for your time, and good to see you back.
Cheers, mate.